So the tweeting badger is the world's first live tweeting badger, first live tweeting animal in history. And his enclosure is rigged with these sensors. His enclosure is divided into zones, and depending on what he's doing in his enclosure, he sends out different pre-programmed tweets. So the tweets are actually based on what he's doing at the time. It was actually born out of, we have a thing called a hackathon, where creative teams from different disciplines get together and they come up with these crazy ideas. And the idea of building an enclosure for an animal that tweets came about. And then the guys had the idea to do it for the Joburg Zoo. And they were only too happy. They obviously don't make huge amounts of cash, and any exposure that they could get is great. And the tweeting badger has become their social media manager. Yeah, it's been amazing. He really has become world famous. He's been on television in I don't know how many different countries, on ABC News, Fox News. He's been on Time magazine posts, Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, you name it. He's been on TV in Japan. He's big in Japan. He's got over 9,000 followers on Twitter. And people are really engaging with him. Not that he responds to their tweets, because we wanted to kind of keep it as a pure idea. But every one of his tweets gets 10, 20 retweets and favorites. So it's amazing. It's giving the zoo loads of exposure. Obviously some of the stuff is fun, but some is quite practical, like telling people that, hey, I'm busy watching the zoo trot today, come and check it out. So it's been a great way of them getting more exposure as well. So obviously we had a strategy where we approached various stations and bloggers and the like. But I think the nature of the idea just was one of those that stuck and people loved, and people wanted to talk about it. So we did have a very specific strategy, but it just sort of snowballed. And once he was out there, everybody sort of picked up on it. It's anecdotal at this point, but yes, most definitely. They're seeing loads of activity around his enclosure in particular. As I say, anecdotal at this point, but they seem to have a lot more traffic of late. It's only been a couple of months, but we're hoping to build on it. Yeah, obviously, as you say, Twitter is generally a slightly older audience, but I think that the pure nature of it is it's a very simple idea. So for a very small budget, they're getting a huge amount of exposure. So it is mostly parents, people referring. We're seeing lots of feedback on Twitter, people saying, this is great, I'm going to go visit him. Oh, that's great, I didn't know that was happening at the zoo. So yeah, we're certainly not expecting kids to sign up on Twitter, but it's more about the parents and actually young adults as well. There seem to be loads of youngsters wanting to go and visit him as well.